Hunter Borgia, the man who vampirized predators. Origin explored. The son of Isabella and Bruno Borgia, Hunter was born as a sickly child, but he was given a new life by a predator named Scarface. Later in his life, Hunter became obsessed with predators and started hunting them down for experiments. Hunter's primary objective was to blur the lines between a predator and a human, and he almost succeeded in doing so. In a manner of saying, he became a human predator, someone who had the strength of predators and the cunning of a human being. Hunter achieved all this by rebuilding an empire left to him by his father. Doesn't this remind you of a Batman who went super rogue? Nevertheless, in this video, we will explore everything there is to know about Hunter Borgia, one of the few human predators and also a man who vampirized predators. Let's begin, shall we? Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you, and let's begin. Hunter Borgia origin. Although Hunter Borgia gained his claim to fame in the world of crime and criminals much later, his real story started in 1930 in New Way City, which can be a hint toward New York City. So in 1930, New Way City was suffering from one of its most terrible heat waves. But more importantly, it was an ancestral hunting ground of the predators. Naturally, a predator named Scarface arrived in New Way City to begin its ritualistic hunt and find worthy prey, human beings. But Scarface did not want to hunt just any human. He wanted to go for Bruno Borgia, who was often called the god of gangsters. And as the name suggests, a force to reckon with. Scarface had found his target and was making all the right moves to get closer to his prey. The bug-eyed monster finally managed to reach Bruno and his pregnant wife and killed Bruno by decapitating him. Scarface then went on to show Bruno's head to his wife Isabella, who had given birth to a sickly child. Interestingly enough, Bruno and his wife knew the importance of predators and the way predator blood worked. The Yautja blood is a bioluminescent compound of neon green color. Furthermore, their blood is known to have life-giving and healing properties. Their blood is also known to have neutralizing effects on the corrosive xenomorph blood. So Isabella Borgia shot the predator in its left eye when it came to show her husband's severed head to her. The impact of the gunshot ensured that Scarface's blood splattered on her newborn son Hunter and herself. It's noteworthy that despite having her husband murdered in the most brutal of ways and being unfortunate enough to witness the entire sequence of events, Isabella did not despair and was determined to do whatever it took to save her baby. Following the gunshot, Bruno Borgia's henchmen arrived and rained bullets on the alien hunter. However, it managed to flee the spot and headed to his mothership, but got stuck inside a burning building. He activated his self-destruct device to remove all evidence of his existence, but he survived and was branded an outcast by his clan, forced to live on a hostile planet for 100 years. However, Hunter Borgia survived and lived to play God, a man who tried to vampirize predators. It is so often that people who want to play God are born in the holiest of places. Some would say it is almost a cruel joke that the devil plays on us. I mean, Hunter Borgia was a beast of a man, but where was he born? Well, a church altar, and he would have died, but as I mentioned earlier, the predator blood saved him from an early death. Although the self-destruct device had flattened the entire city to the ground, it gave Hunter Borgia and his mother an opportunity to do something that Bruno could never do. The two of them used Bruno's empire to build a new city called Neonopolis on the grave of New Way City. Furthermore, when Scarface left after killing Bruno, he was in such a hurry that he forgot to carry some of his weapons along with him. Hunter and his mother used these weapons and reverse engineered them to create Predator-style weapons for their own use. Naturally, Borgia Industries became the most powerful company in the region, and Hunter became the most powerful man in all of Neonopolis. It reached a position where it was directly dealing with giant multinationals like the Wayland Industries and Yautja Corporation, and made several friends in the likes of Charles Bishop. Nevertheless, in his adult life, Hunter Borgia became obsessed with Yautja blood, Now that he had full knowledge of its properties, he started investing all his strength, time, and money into understanding the creatures. But how does he understand something without anything tangible? Well, he started hunting the predators and started experimenting on them. In fact, he created several predator prototypes for himself, but that was not it. Using the weapons left by Scarface, Hunter Borgia created the Prometheus tech, which was superior assault and defense technology that he sold to various gangs that operated in Neonopolis, the City of Lights. And he used this very tech to capture the predators who visited various parts of Earth for their hunts. But when so much predator tech is used in one small city, it has got to leave its signatures, right? Naturally, the Predator Society learned about it and decided to take action. One thing that we must note here is that predators do not want their technology falling into the wrong hands, that is, any hands that are not predator hands. This is the reason why a predator is supposed to kill himself and destroy all evidence of his or her existence after getting caught or when he or she has no chance of an escape. Nevertheless, the Predator sent Scarface back to Earth to Neonopolis so that he could rectify his mistake. This was his only shot at redemption and to regain the honor he had lost 100 years ago. Once Scarface was back in town, he learned that the city had changed from the last time he was there. Nevertheless, he started his butchery almost immediately, alerting Hunter's daughter, Lucretia. She was contacted by one of her henchmen who told her that the others were fleeing the city like rats because of the unstoppable ruthless killings and flayed men. She took the matter to her father, Hunter, and she now learned that it was a predator who had come to town. And no matter what she asked him, he would just give her indirect answers. In reality, Lucretia was scarred deep inside and wanted to leave the city, and she wanted to escape the city after selling the tech that Hunter's scientists had built. So, Hunter Borgia not only created the Prometheus tech, but also a super intelligent computer called Mother, which was the living brain of Neonopolis. So as we know, Isabella Borgia was touched with predator blood, which elongated her life substantially, but she was not going to stay young forever. Eventually, she grew old and was on the verge of dying, but that did not mean that her thirst for control over Neonopolis ended. So, in a last-ditch attempt to elevate her powers to a whole different level, she donated her brain and body to serve as the organic core of the computer that controlled all the systems of Neonopolis, including the weather. After her assembly with a supercomputer, she was living inside a giant tank which was filled with chemicals that protected her body from decay. Now, Lucretia hated every bit of Mother, but knew very well that the technology was extremely valuable. She told her father that she wanted to sell it and make a fortune, but Hunter reminded her that Borgias would never leave Neonopolis. Meanwhile, as Scarface kept closing the distance between himself and Hunter Borgia, the human began his next stage of research. He served himself as the first test subject of a highly complex and advanced program that was supposed to splice the DNA of humans and predators. The resultant creature would have been a mix of both, a creature with the strength of these ancient creatures and the cunning of humans. However, when Scarface stormed into the main facility, Mother revealed the ultimate plan of letting the prototype predators loose on Scarface. But the experienced and battle-tested Scarface slaughtered them without breaking a sweat and reached Mother's chambers, where it is revealed that Isabella Borgia was in love with Scarface. In fact, she saw him as the father of Neonopolis, as she was its mother. However, Scarface felt no love for the woman who had blinded him in one eye and went on to brutally kill her. Now, Scarface turned his attention towards Lucretia, who started to look for Hunter in search of help and protection. But he was nowhere to be found. In the end, she did find him in a capsule that was turning Hunter into a predator. However, Lucretia aborted the process well before its completion. Hunter Borgia came out of it as a half-formed human predator and went on to kill his daughter. I believe if the entire process had finished, he would not have become a hostile and violent creature. Nevertheless, Hunter faced himself against Lucretia's loyal and strong bodyguard, Ronin, but he proved to be less than a match for Borgia's newfound strength. After slaying Ronin, he faced his ultimate enemy and life-giver, Scarface. Scarface killed Hunter Borgia and painted Bruno Borgia's giant statue with Hunter's hybrid blood. The Predator had had his revenge and was now accepted by his clan. If you like our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks, everyone.